betutwa na making kind na fe ya bre na ya chirimu na omo say we have seen some prominent and big NDC gurus sharing snippets of Bawumia's tour in an attempt to ridicule him. We honestly don't know who is in charge of communication strategy for our party, but this strategy is the laziest, unproductive, and senseless strategy of all types. Enti yewra Solomon and Kansa na Kofi B Kukobo ena o machire mu se omahunu se omo party NDC mpanimfo bi atwitwa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia campaign tour ya woko omo twitwa video kete ya ase omo edi ne ho few na omo di huru no na in fact omo te wono omo nim nipa ono na ehwe NDC kwan omo fa so a omo kasa in this year's election. Nenso sa anamuntu wi ana sa strategy we there ya kwadwefo strategy a strategy a ababia nim a strategy a nyansa ba kokora enim. Say when you share a 30-second video to mock someone, you force objective people to find the full video and watch for themselves. Any objective and sensible person who watches Bawumia's response on taxing the church question will know that it was a very sensible and well thought through response that His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia gave. It hardly connotes the joker assertion our precious NDC wants to put out. Enti before ichiremu obi a na adwene mu da ho fan ya obehwe sa video no bia no ya omo party NDC for nipa bi aya omo de huru Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ebe na adwene se obekwa akohwe full video na obi a na adwene mu da ho no bia no ehwe full video no na oti anu yi a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia de bae efa se ye gigi eto edi afiri nsore ho no a nipa de be hunu se anu yi a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia di ye anu yi a in fact nyansan kasa ebi wo mu pa na anu yi a utumu se the vice president trans dwene ho si esopo si so agina ansana ode sa inchiremu no ba na sa nyoma ni nyina kire sabi concept asresem any just a seriousness any party friend NDC omoto aso say instead of pushing what our flag bearer also has for Ghanaians and keeping Ghanaians updated with his activities, we have spent almost 3 weeks and hired journalists to follow Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's tour and for the tour to be a subject of discussion. And I'm penning for each say, instead said the National Democratic Congress veterans na ensam wa mo franka tu ni na mo kan ombe boss ansam ne ho dawu na bri ni bribia no ombe magana fo ahunu nioma koso with respect to omo flag bearer His Excellency John Dramani Mahama omo transcend na watwe miensa ahyeda soma sentwerefo se omu ni Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia campaign to awokwachi na afa omo koba omo de sa campaign to na baba be discussion atransia ka ho asem a emra omo flag bearer so won hihye ya obo mo dawuro di akire Ghana fo ena omo to aso bion say party executives and even some well-meaning party members and gurus within the NDC don't even know the whereabouts of our flag bearer, and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is still headlining our conversations. What is the sense in this? Things are not right with the NDC. Party no ego. Enti mpanifo mienu esan chirimu a. Party ni mpanifo. Party no achidifo. Ani atitratitri bi a wo party ni. Ene ni na nyina omu ni baabi a omo franka tuni His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne na. Na emomu no Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia campaign ya wonam awoye na sisi ababa be ye twiapia NDC fo atwe omo sen ade asiso a de bia omo we ena penefo mienu kirimu a saade ekoso yi nyansa bia anim saade ya ekoso yi enya de papa. It looks as if Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign has sent our flag bearer into hiding. Yan penefo mienu kirimu a ase ekwa akoye say His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia aproba obon ena ama omo franka tuni ye John Dramani Mahama ape baby akwa akote kenya sa enka party executives entumi enka se omu nim baby a flag bearer His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ewo the way any nsemu a Solomon nkansa ena afi Kofi B Kukubo edi atudwa edi afa the party NDC their flag bearer John Dramani Mahama and the flag bearer of the MPP His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and a campaign who sent someone now it was a fufu.
The new Patriotic Party flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has clarified that he was joking about giving incentives to churches. According to him, the comment he made in a jest has been taken out of context.
The NPP presidential candidate's initial statement about incentivizing churches was made at a meeting with the clergy in the Bono East region on Friday, May 10.
Then the question is church and taxes. Are we going to tax churches? My view on this is simple. In fact, that's why I say that if you share a Juma church, in fact, we should rather be paying them rather than they paying us. So I don't see, and I will not have a situation where we are taxing the churches. We rather want to give churches incentives to support what government is doing. I want us to be partners in the way that the development partners are with us. You are our domestic development partners, and we will give you incentives to do more.
However, following the mixed reaction to his comments, the Vice President has said the statement was made in jest. In another meeting with the clergy in the Northeast region as part of his nationwide tour, the Vice President stated that his remark may have been taken out of context.
At that point, I was joking, and I said, oh, people are talking about taxing churches. I don't believe, and we will not tax churches. Because if you look at the work the churches have done, then I was joking, then maybe we should have actually paid them for what they did, not really trying to tax them. But I wasn't really saying we should pay churches. No, I'm saying that we should give incentives.
Dr. Bawumia highlighted that his comment was made within the context of acknowledging the significant contributions of churches and other faith-based institutions to the country, including the construction of schools, hospitals, and other essential facilities. He stated that such organizations deserve support to continue their impactful work. Dr. Bawumia clarified that the intention was to acknowledge their contributions and encourage them to do more and not to impose taxes on them.
Let's stay a while on this issue because I have been joined on the phone by the Communications Director for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign team, Miracles Abwaji, to help us understand what the Vice President comments really meant to actually say or do to the people of Ghana. Miracles, thank you for your time. You are welcome. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Right. So even after the explanation of Dr. Bawumia's comments that it was a joke and therefore was taken out of context, you still have Ghanaians trolling him on social media and even have taken the joke explanation out of context, if you may, again. Do you follow that?
It's not Ghanaians. It's Jifagunu, Yaya Koku, receipt guy. It's the NDC. Who are spreading that, and it's okay, it's fine, because unfortunately for them, the very important conversation which they are playing with has been dealt with decisively by the Vice President. The Vice President, in engaging the clergy, had a question posed to him specifically on taxation of churches and the fact that there's conversation about the possibility of the state taxing churches. And he was quite clear. He said that if you look at all the investment the churches are making in education, in health, social services, he doesn't think or he doesn't know why we should even be discussing taxation of churches. Indeed, if there is anything at all, we should be paying the churches. And this comment was made in the context of even a Ghanaian adage where they say, when you be chrono, so you know, so that even if you are not going to say thank you to them, you don't go taxing them again. And that's the point he made. The same group of people came back, took the entire conversation out of context, ignored the real substantial issues, and started spreading headlines like Dr. Bawumia says he will pay churches. Dr. Bawumia promises to pay churches, which had nothing to do with the comments that he made. So yesterday, he spent time to clarify and give further insight into the conversation around the taxation. And it's quite clear. Presby Church, Pentecost Church, Methodist Church, Catholic, Anglican Church, these are the big churches we have in this country. And there is no corner in this country that you will not find these churches with schools. Indeed, at the basic level, you would agree that if you take the schools for these churches and faith-based organizations out, we may not have any basic education. And he believes that the church and the faith-based organizations are our foremost development partners. And so there is absolutely no way that under his presidency he would even consider the conversation around taxing churches. He even went further to say that the idea rather should be providing incentives to these churches in the developmental drive. For example, if a church wants to build a school or a hospital and imports materials from overseas to construct this project, shall we begin to think about giving them specific tax exemptions to be able to give them some free hand and serve as an incentive so they can do more for us as a country? And that conversation is what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is driving. He's very committed to it. No amount of misrepresentation, misleading would take his mind out of that particular.
You sought to mention a name and the political party NDC. Are they not Ghanaians?
Well, but you and I know that they are Ghanaians and yet worked and campaigned against Free Senior High School. Is that what Ghanaians want?
Yes, but
is it everything that the NDC do?
But politics is about numbers. And
no,
it doesn't matter where you see someone, position or someone.
It does. If you have a political party like the NDC that has a history of fighting every good thing that is proposed for the people, they are not people that you take them seriously. And so if something like a very important conversation like this, where the vice president has met 7 regions and met clergy in all these regions, very, very important conversation, and then you put aside the substance of the conversation and you go about misrepresenting, misleading, and making fun of the conversation, you are not to be taken serious, and you don't represent their name.
That's where I'm coming to. As you being the communications manager of Dr. Bawumia, don't you think that you're not doing him a lot of good by coaching and managing his scripts and his speeches properly, such that some words are not allowed or not to be used because hold on, Miracles, so that some words are very easy to put spins on in terms of politics, and they can be taken out of context easily.
People are not daft.
And so when you read the meaning,
tell our NDC friends, no, there's no meaning in this. It's a very straightforward, simple, uncomplicated conversation. That's why I'm saying that you and a few others on Twitter are the ones discussing this. I am in the Eastern region right now. They are very, very interested in the headlines.
Miracles, do we have, maybe you don't know, or you are not, you are underestimating, hold on. Maybe you are underestimating the word joke and how far it can go to affect the personality of Dr. Bawumia. Do we have synonyms for joke?
There are synonyms for every word.
So wait, hold on. So in the political speech and delivery, you could have used a word that is probably even more milder, or that would send a very different.
To satisfy the NDC.
Why are you so focused on the NDC?
Because it is them. Why are we all not on the Twitter? It is them. Share their handles. Go and pick 100 handles on Twitter. You are there, and tell me which one of them is not a pure fanatic of the NDC. We are not running this country on the basis of the NDC. If we're running this country to satisfy the NDC, we will not be having Free Senior High School. We will not be having hundreds of factories across districts. I am telling you that the conversation and the point the vice president made was live. It was live, and there was absolutely no ambiguity about it. First of all, he makes the point. Then they come back misrepresenting the point. Now he comes back to clarify that point. They are not happy. They are not happy that he's come to clarify it. So they go again and pick another conversation to distract us from the substance of the issue. I am telling you that nobody is falling for it. The vice president is categorical. He has no intention to pay churches. He has not made any such intention. The conversation is around taxation of churches. And he's saying that indeed, if anything at all, we should be paying the churches and not the other way around.
Right.
Your position on this matter, as has been taken by the NDC, is their business. Across the country, in all the regions that we have been to, they are very clear, the position of the vice president on taxation of churches. What is the position of their leader on taxation of churches?
Right. Miracle Sabah.
Electoral violence, NDC as a news. Na no ye friend chose ya kwanza papa bi. Na no ye liter. And then the former husband to the liter. And the quote also was seen, them was seen in dollars. Ghana Bank, the court today, which means will be in dollars. Now, no more craft a year, our phone. And now, Omukaso buku divorce. Obana the coin. Na be man response wa kwaku or the buyer na fact leaky e mo du na that because okay say public document ada court today na esema to the liter kan ye no e wo court no
na nya izo
ene mo odin wonim wonim lawyer Sam Kuju
Martin Aminu
okay lawyer Sam Kuju ebra before court 2012 na to liter and lawyer for John Mahama and Sam Kuju as a lawyer for NDC now we me no say na fofo the court documents okay kan baby to liter say ade ye ne ya pa ba ko ne say
na for Sam Kuju
na wale
is chehi
asa we is chehi ni and on ayi na no ye ehye ho no si bo ho no mo a anajo be don ko omoda ho a mi sa na se ba ku be twa ni nsuru na mema ye won so no se be ma de nka se twa nsuru ma na twa ye den
twa nsuru sa ye so
okay wasi se twa ni nsuru kura ni se Sam Kuju eye party uni fi na
we invite you on Tony Lito
asina ko peso be se da we ko Lito na Tony Lito ene ne yire na no ye Lito e koy kwaku so hono ma na ne yonko Sam Kuju jere abane ho obaya ai well to need time me me catch wo jere say
onya mi kuruma ai aseme de you are saying the man tese di mono no
ai aya se kito ai esabu na utese wakafa de jere no ho a wo se ba kwasa ha do kora boni say sa o mutia wa na sigina no na no ye akofa values mo japade na omu wo no o ma ko value ni na we ye $20,000 we $40,000 we 10,000 Ghana cedis ai
se so ni de obenya
na wo say awa na se o mutie no wo no to liter we be ma no na busu ni be fie hodo ma asemaba ma mi wa hwena wo ja tetea ni ba ko ne ko
ono so de mtim begu
ono so de oba dia ene takira mu wie mo jese aye atijide achacha kwa ba kutu aba sabum na me nim se sa asem no e ba ko to sa o wo wie but that no wasi no for
say ogunu hu
fi but e mo
no response no de buy no
ade media chi because me nim se ucho visa o court o bitweti ba ka test say ultimate dia di film na ba say we we trying to be libel okay be part under defamation
court krata
okay